Ladies and gentlemen, the Montana Armbender is back here at the Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. We want to thank all our sponsors for breathing life into this event. And we welcome you all. Now, let's bid some arms. Our first competitor is a rancher from Dagmar, Montana. 5'9", 153 pounds. Timothy, the rancher, Geib.
Montana! Armbender, po!
Tim's opponent is undefeated at the Armbender. He has been wrestling since 1992. 5'8", 154 pounds from Great Falls, Montana. Luke, the mechanic, Cote.
Alrighty, guys, here we go. We are starting off with the first match of the Montana Armbender.
Piper, $100 going down on the table. Well, hey, before you start, we got another 100 from Joe Benski. Who's that 100 from? Luke Cote? Who put that extra 100? Luke Cote, gear grabbers. All right, right here, John Enot. Thank you. Halftime Sports Bar and Casino throwing down another 100. Thank you, John. All right, what do we got there, Keith? 400 already? $400 to start the first match. Here we go.
Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. This is the annual Montana Armbender. We are about to kick off with the first round. We have Luke Cote on the right, Timothy Geib on the left. Dakota, what are your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I'm excited for this match, man. They just had a left arm match at the Little Armbender, and, you know, it didn't quite go as planned for either of them, ending with a little bit of an injury, but we're back here with the right arm, and I'm really excited for the setup. Shout out to Gear Grabbers Garage for sponsoring this, and we're going underway, guys. Tim with the top roll, Luke holding confidently, and we slip, and we're going to straps.
Dakota, no surprise there. That's usually how their match goes. I'm excited to see what the strap is going to do for Luke. Luke has really been strengthening his hand. That may have been a weak component at one time, but I feel like that might be the equalizer in this match.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I mean, while we're on the topic of straps, for all the people watching who may not know, let's talk about the rules a little bit while we get the strap going on. So for those of you guys that don't know, in this event, all slips are going to straps. Losing position, we're kind of throwing that out the window. Josh made it very clear, guys, at the refs meeting, we want all of these matches to be ending on pins. There is 3 fouls. You get your warnings as usual. And other than that, it's going to be a lot of arm wrestling, running fouls. It all ends on pins.
Absolutely. This event is for the viewers, also for the arm wrestlers, but we want to see who the strongest man is. We don't want to see a win by a technicality. We want to see a win by who is the strongest opponent.
100%. And we see Luke looking comfortable here in the setup. Tim trying to close his hand, lifting his elbow, not quite getting maybe what he wants. Luke looking comfortable. Luke trying to keep it. Keith straighten him out. And Keith just saying go right off the bat. And Tim gets the roll. Wow. Very explosive top roll for Tim there. Looking really good in the strap. He didn't look fully comfortable, but when the go was said, he ran away with it, hey?
I was a little bit shocked there. It looked like Luke Cote had it in the back pressure. He was kind of, the way he was applying the pressure had Tim a little bit uncomfortable, but didn't matter when they said go.
Yeah, let's look at it here in the replay. You can see as soon as the go was said, he activated that pronation. We're going to see that again here, guys. And really, right before that go, Tim just explodes pronation, and it completely takes everything away from Luke.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what adjustments Luke Cote can make here. I hope that didn't zap his confidence in this. He needs to make a few adjustments here, I think, in the grip up. I imagine this is going to go right to the strap, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, outside of straps, very even. Both these guys were directly back and forth. It was awesome to see. And yeah, let's see what happens in round number 2 here, guys.
Square up.
Keith telling them to square up.
Ready, go!
Quick go, and Tim with a sideways hook. Very dominant from Tim. Amazing thus far. 40 seconds till round number 3. That will determine, could determine the first match of the arm bender.
Absolutely. You know, talking with Tim earlier, his resting heart rate was about what he has when he's running. And so he was pretty nervous, but I feel like those nerves are out the window. He's comfortable. Luke's definitely going to have to make some big adjustments. I don't know what lane he's going to have to beat Tim.
Wow.
But, you know, some guys, that third round, it's a game changer for them, so maybe.
You never know. There could be some adjustments being made. He could be blowing up. It could be very many things that could change this round. But if I'm Luke, I got stuck to do a hook, and I had some success in the top roll. I'm going up. I'm going out. I'm going to try and do something different that way. Tim looks very strong there. And coming up next, guys, we have Ian Johnson and Dan Grosulak. That's going to be a really interesting match. But let's get back into the action here in round number 3. Keith is just wanting these guys to get a grip that where they're both comfortable, and he wants these matches to go. There's a down ref there, giving him the wrist command. As soon as that's up, he's pretty much yelling go. Tim over the top.
Going for the slip.
Going for the slip, but I did hear a foul called. Luke smiling and holding on to him. Has the thumb a little bit. And let's see what the call was there.
So it looks like it's going to the strap.
So another thing, guys, with the running fouls talk in the rules meeting, there was a foul made by Tim, and then they kind of changed position, and there was no advantage gained on the foul. So when they slipped there, instead of a foul and no strap, because it was an even slip, they went back into the strap.
That's a great point. And again, the rule set is designed for the viewer. We want to see who the strongest arm wrestler is, and so we want to keep the action fast-paced. And we have a lot of great matches today, so we have to kind of keep on schedule with everything.
15 matches for you guys. Wow. A lot of action. As we keep going, the matches just get bigger and bigger. Nonetheless, though, what a great start so far, Tim and Luke. Luke is bullying him in the setup this time. I think Luke is doing the right things, but Luke needs to establish what he wants and not give any of it back.
Right, right.
Let's go. Give me center.
See, right there, he gave a little bit, but Luke's still pronated, looking comfortable.
Luke looking ready to fire off.
Luke
there
this
we go.
time
Good position. There
gets
we
the
go.
wrist. Wow.
Yeah! Looking at him like, I have this now.
Luke is looking and smiling.
What a match,
Wow.
guys. Let's see if Tim can make an adjustment, get his shoulder behind that
Tim
elbow.
is trying to press. Luke is working it and trying to burn him out. Can Luke finish from here is the question. Yes, he can.
Yeah. What a third round.
And just like we were talking about, guys, you know, sometimes all it takes is one. It's hard to say where Tim's wrist is at. That elbow foul, very game-changing.
Absolutely.
You see Tim holding his wrists. That probably took a lot out of it. Will it be much easier for him to take it in the following rounds and possibly get a comeback in this first match of the armband?
Dakota, my thoughts exactly. You know, one thing too, when you get in that compromised wrist position and you're trying to do a flop wrist press where you're trying to get any purchase you can, it fatigues your wrist like crazy.
Yeah, 100%, and especially the amount he sat there and in the strap like that, and you don't. He's not just. They're not just kind of statically holding. Like Luke is going for the pin there.
Absolutely.
And constantly, Tim is trying to come back. You see him getting his arm rubbed down. Luke in his corner, just kind of waiting for the next round. I'm very curious to see if Tim makes an adjustment, maybe goes back in to try that hook, or if Luke is going to give him enough to keep him out of it.
Right.
One thing I will say as we go into round number 4 here, I was very impressed with Luke's setup in the third round. He got what he wanted in the strap, and he got everything towards him, and he made Tim constantly chase him. And that chase carried over into the round where he got the win.
Yeah, Luke's got to keep up the aggression here in order to kind of stay ahead, I would say, of this next round. Tim's looking a little bit gassed, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because that round 2, Tim just went right through him. But very different now in the setup. You can just see it. Luke very far back. Is it centered? I don't know if that was centered. They called it 3 fouls. So, great explanation here, guys. I give it to you guys. So Tim was off the back of the elbow pad there, and Keith yelled 1 foul. And after you get a foul and your elbow's off, if you do not return your elbow after a second, it runs into a second foul, and then it runs into a third foul. A 3-foul system. Tim actually lost that match due to having his elbow off for 3 seconds. And we are going into a silver bullet to start off the 2026 Armbender. In 30 seconds, we are going to see match number 5 between these two guys. Quite amazing. You can see Dan in the corner here. He's giving Tim instructions on what to do. Let's take a look at this replay, guys. Tim gets up top on the start, but Luke's having him there. An elbow off the back. Keith, 1 foul, 2 foul, 3 fouls before the slip. Therefore, we're moving right into match number 5. Now, I don't know, Weston, what would you do if you were Tim in this situation? I mean, you look somewhat comfortable in round number 4, but nonetheless, it's an interesting spot to be in because you did foul out, but you weren't in a horrible position there. You were on winning side.
You know, I think it just matters what lanes Tim feels like he has, what tools he has. To me, it looks like his hand and wrists are blowing up.
Yeah, you can see how he's kicking out like that. It's funny because Keith did say those will be warnings. We're going straight into a ref script here. Who will a ref script benefit? I'm very curious. If Luke doesn't get the purchase he wants and Tim still has something on that hand, it can be very threatening.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They're both getting their thumbs capped as we move into this. Very fast referee script, guys. As long as webbing is equal, you're closing hands, and he's saying ready, go.
Ready, go! One warning.
So,
Saved by the ref, and that is
saved by the ref. Luke better wake up.
We might have got our answer there. This kind of shocks me that Luke is having this much trouble in a ref
Yeah,
script.
maybe Luke was bullying so much in the setup, and now that it's fair, it's a little different for him.
Absolutely. He's not getting what he needs in the setup.
100%, and we're moving back into the ref script. Luke should wake up, and he gets pulled into the hook, catches him, but he gets pinned. Wow.
And we have our winner.
Pulls out the win in a very close first match in the Armbender. The cash is going to be passed out, guys. Again, shout out Gear Grabbage Garage for sponsoring this first.
Sure. Wow, Tim, that is everything I expected and more out of you two. Incredible. At the end, I didn't know who was going to win there. How did you pull that off? What did you do on that last round to get that win?
I cupped in.
Incredible. You came in strong. Very humble, Tim Geib, the rancher from Dagmar, Montana. Do you want to call anyone out? This is your first big win on the Armbender. Is there anyone you're after? A state ranking? Someone else?
There's lots of state rankings out there, but Luke, I've never got a pin on. JC's another guy I've never got a pin on. Someday I'd like him. I have a little bit to go yet, but someday.
There you go, folks. Let's give it up for Tim Geib. What a way to start the event.
And thank you to Gear Grabbers Garage. Luke Cote owns a business. He sponsored the match. Big shout out to Luke.
Yes, thank you to Gear Grabbers Garage. Let's hear it for Tim and Gear Grabbers. Here we go. Oh, yes, yep. And Benski is giving $50 to the loser. $50 to the loser, Luke Cote. Got to give him some gas money, make him feel a little better. That's hard to lose in front of this many people. Here we go, guys. We're gonna. This next one's gonna be good.
Wow. Hey, we don't like to use this phrase in Montana, but that was a barn burner, huh? Here we go. Here we go. We now have the #1 left-handed puller under 200 pounds from North Dakota. 5'9", 184 pounds. From Bismarck, Ian Firewall Johnson. Facing Ian is the #1 left-handed arm wrestler in Montana under 200 pounds. From Billings, Montana, 5'9", 185 pounds. Dan Deepwater Grosulak.
Money.
I gave you about 10%.
All right, we got the money girl coming up.
We're sitting in the dark. Breaker. Breaker.
Well, guys, it sounds like
still
we're having a little breaker issue here, but I'm sure it's something that will get figured out ASAP. There we go.
Shut up there.
All right, did the money girl go up? All right, perfect. Money girl's gone up. Hey, we got, hang on, guys, sorry. 200 from Benski. 200 more from Benski. Towing right there. 300 on the table. 300 on the table. John Enoch, Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. Thank you, another 100. Thank you, John.
Just a shout out to our sponsor, Geib Land and Livestock, and shout out to all the other viewers there at the Halftime Sports Bar, throwing in a little bit more money on the table. I tell you what, the Montana Armbender is special in that reason that these guys, and they win big.
Yeah, and that always makes the win a little nicer. You know, you get a little cash to go home with it. And yeah, shout out Tim and Tim Geib Land and Livestock, the winner of your last match, sponsoring the next match. Very nice of him. Now, when we look at these two guys, we see two very well-respected pullers under 200 pounds in their regions. Dan, he's been around, he's been pulling for a long time. I cannot see a knuckle to save my life. I'm really curious to see who gets the advantage here. Where do you think this one's going to go?
You know, this is hard telling. Talking with Dan, they have gone back and forth in recent years, so he's looking at this as a really good test for both of them. Either Ian has stayed ahead, or Dan has done what is necessary to, you know, to bring in his expertise and to take the match. Dan Grosulak coming off a loss last year, so he has a lot to prove in this match.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm curious to see who this ref script favors. Can't get away with much of this, especially with Keith. You get close, and you better be happy because it ain't ending on fouls.
It's happening.
Ready, go!
And Dan with a very explosive hit sideways almost. Ian keeps hand a little bit, but nonetheless, Dan gets to his side before we slip, and we are going to see the first referee's grip in straps.
Then we go to the strap. Then we go to the referee's grip.
I got to give props to Dan. One thing that he's always been known for, he has a very strong hand, but not only is his hand strong, he's just very, very wise with how to use it, how to manipulate it. And I feel like this now going to the strap is going to favor Dan, in my opinion.
We're not going anywhere.
But you never know. It can be very surprising the outcome when you apply the strap.
Yeah, Luke surprised me last match in his strap work,
Absolutely.
and it's very interesting. Referee's grip is tough because, you know, especially like this, you're fighting for every millimeter you can just because when they say go, you don't want to be in a bad position. And referee's grip is designed to make it as neutral as possible, but pretty much no matter what, you can always get a little bit somewhere if you're looking hard enough.
Absolutely.
Both these guys are capped. I think we kind of know which direction these guys want to go. It's more or less who's got more power while they're going there or who's faster. Ian gets the hand, but Dan jumping into a flop, looking very dominant there on his side, holding him. Got to watch his elbow. Ian looking more and more confident as this match goes on, but that's a loss. That will be a loss. Guys, under this rule set, that should be called a loss, as he gave up the pin and fell into losing position.
He gave up the match. No, it's a foul on him. Okay. You win. Thank you. Okay. Relax. Okay.
I understand Dan's frustration there because, in my opinion, that shouldn't even needed to be a debate. That was made very clear in the rules meeting. If you give up a match or try and let your elbow off to let go on fouls, you will lose. Nonetheless, I do understand where they're coming from talking about it. Tensions are high. Do you think Dan's side pressure will give out as this match goes on with Ian having such dominant hand control?
You know, that was my first thought. That position there looked really reminiscent of Todd Hutchings' style.
Ish, yes.
You know, and
Because he had pronation.
He had a little bit of pronation. You know, it's hard telling. I feel like Dan has been known for his endurance in a match. So I feel like he can keep doing that. But I feel like if Ian, off that go, if he that pronation he's applying, if he can hit into that and get any purchase, I don't know if that's going to be good for Dan.
That is the thing, and I mean, I see where Ian's coming from in that match as well. I'm in a hand dominant position, but I'm not on my side of the table. I'm not dominant. If I get him there at center, I may very well be able to pull that over. Do I want to burn energy trying to fight this back? He gave it 2 good bursts, didn't seem to go his way, and now we're going into round number 2, where, I don't know, I'm curious to see what happens if it doesn't go to rest strip. I'm also curious, outside of straps, if we see similar.
Back up. Square the shoulders down. Shoulders. Wrist. Wrist.
Dan,
Wrist. Wrist. Just a little bit. I'll let you go.
Ian looking very back pressurous. Dan looks like he's almost wanting to go sideways again. Maybe throwing that top roll he likes to do.
It's interesting. Neither one of them chalked up, so I imagine they just want to slip and go to the straps.
They're getting to start very high. I
They
find that
are.
very interesting as a match later on. Oh, and Dan over the top that time. Ian looking a little tired there.
Dakota, do you know in the rule set, can they just bypass the grip and can they go straight to the strap? Did we talk about that in the rules?
I don't think that was covered, but I've never seen a league deny straps.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense, especially when we're trying to put on a show, time is going on. It makes sense to go to straps and both contenders agree, just for the fact that, you know, especially with this rule set, there's going to be a win.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
It makes me wonder if it's a little bit of wasted energy. It kind of seems like both guys know where it's going. I wonder if maybe in the later rounds that'd be something that
something to consider. But with that being said, Dan seems to be having more hand not dominance per se, but he seems to be neutralizing Ian's hand a little bit more outside of the strap. So I see you maybe trying to get a cheeky win by grabbing his finger.
Both guys need to be squared up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Both kind of carving in a
number
little
2
bit.
here. But I mean, a carve may favor Dan at this point.
Absolutely, yes.
So if I'm Ian, I'm complaining at this point. Ian gets him over. On the winning side, you can hear Clifton Erickson yelling to stay in the back. Dan going sideways. Wow. bringing Ian over, getting him out of his lock. Now, what needs to happen here is Ian needs to bring his elbow forward.
Great job, Dan. You know, one thing with Dan, when he commits to a hook, even if he gets in a unfavorable position, he has every ability to pull it back, to stay calm. Just as you see in there, he was able to take it to his side.
Look at this replay. Dan bringing his elbow backwards, slowly dragging things kind of back towards him. Ian getting stretched out, his stroke down. You can see Dan's elbow going back corner, and Ian having to match. Now, if I'm Ian there, and this is tough to do in the moment, don't get me wrong, guys, but you want to kind of bring your elbow forward there and push up to make it more of a bone lock position. You're not sitting on your bicep that way. You can see Clifton and Jake in the corner here telling Ian, kind of giving him instructions on what to do. And yeah, it looks like Clifton might be saying go inside. There's Bryan Johnson looking strong as ever. Got to pull that guy in like 4 matches.
Probably going to be the match of the night.
We'll see. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited. It should be a good time. But anyways, let's focus on these guys here. Dan Grosulak up 2-0 on Ian Johnson. 5 seconds. We're going into round number 3. Will we see another 0-2 comeback? Or is this going to end by Dan denying it right here?
You know, interestingly, in that last round, even though Ian got Dan off the go, once Dan got a little more purchase and got his arm in there, it seemed like he had better positioning with his hand once he applied that side pressure.
I agree. Like we talked about before the second round had started, in the first round, Ian got him over to his side in the second round and was still unsuccessful in finishing. I think he needs to get there quick and think getting his shoulder on top of his arm, because the arm power just isn't enough to stop.
I agree with you 100%.
Square him up.
Let's see if Ian can make some adjustments and get it to his side.
Yeah.
Bring that shoulder out.
See, I'm very Dan gets
looking good.
They peel out to the straps again.
Kind of looks like maybe Ian is experiencing a little bit of fatigue, where Dan might have a little more in the tank.
You know, if I'm Ian there and I'm getting brought over top, I'm going to be asking to see my knuckle.
Right.
Looks like it's something that's being, not that maybe they care, but it's being forgotten. And it's such an important thing. When you're fighting for height, if someone's covering your knuckle and has that inch on you, it can be night and day. Going to straps for round number 3. Dan looks very dominant outside of that slip there. I'm interested to see if Dan commits to a top roll route here, or if he is just willing to go sideways and feels confident there. Ian's pronation has been holding up very well. They seem quite even on the rise. Dan lifted his elbow and then went up for rise. Yeah, you can see here these guys are fighting for every inch, and there's not really any knuckles there. There we go. It's called now. Keith is happy. Dan's going straight sideways. You can tell by his setup and everything. They're telling him to bring his shoulder back, and he just goes straight sideways.
Ian is driving.
Ian needs to bring that elbow forward.
Yeah. There he goes. Just not in time. Well done, guys. Shout out Geib, landing Livestock for that great match. We're going to be going to Josh Wilson here. He's going to be talking to the winner, Dan. Very great win for Dan.
Here we go. The cash is going up to Dan. Dan Grosulak, your winner, 300. Benski wants you to have 50. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. All right. Big Dan, that was impressive. A lot of people weren't sure you could win that match. How did you pull that out? It looked like a lot of side pressure and determination.
Well, Uncle Todd tells us you don't get points for winning with your wrist. So straight side pressure, baby.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Dan, that's a big win for you. Is there anyone you want to call out? Anyone you have in mind on the Montana rankings?
Well, first I want to thank Tim for sponsoring us. Tim Geib, appreciate the support, dude. Josh, thank you for doing something people never thought could happen in Great Falls. I want to give this money to you, back to the arm bender. Keep it going. I still owe Chuck Young and Ben Brooks a few pins that I got to get on the board for those big boys.
Thank you, Big Dan Grosulak. Let's hear it for Dan. What a performance. What a performance. Let's hear it. Tim Geib, the rancher, thank you for sponsoring this match. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Ian. Thanks for coming up. All right, guys, we're going to keep moving on. We got more going up the ladder.
This next match features a monster who bench presses 520 pounds. Back now to Montana from the state of Washington. 6 foot even, 371 pounds. Dustin, the hydraulic press, Finley. Bender since his injury against RVJ in the 2024. A man who has also faced Todd Hutchings here at the Montana Armbender in 2023. From Lewistown, Montana, 6'2", 320 pounds. It's Ben Brooks.
That's not Dan.
These guys are big.
Here comes the money, girl.
They're huge.
$100 to start the match. Joe Benski with Benski Towing and Leah Noel, another $200. We're at $300. Luke Cote, Gear Grabbers Garage, another $100. $400 on the table. These are the two biggest men on the stage tonight. It is going to get intense up there.
All right, guys, welcome back. Shout out to Johnson Madison Lumber Company. They are the go-to for all of your construction needs. They are the ones that donated the lumber for this stage. We had to beef it up for these two guys. Nearly 800 pounds on the table.
We're about to get going here. Dustin, I know where he's looking. Ben looking calm. Dustin looking strong, gets in his spot. Surges. Dustin is riled up sideways. Might have missed a little bit of an elbow foul at the end there, but that's the arm bender, guys. Not everything's caught, you know what I mean. Johnson Madison Lumber, man, they were setting up this stage last night. It was awesome.
Little backstory here. Ben Brooks is coming back off of two serious injuries, one to his elbow, one to his pec. And so this is kind of his entry back into competition. One thing I know about Ben Brooks, he may give up round one, round two, he can make adjustments, and I don't know if I've seen the power difference there to where it's going to be unbeatable, I guess, for Dustin.
Yeah.
But curious to see what adjustments Ben makes in this next round.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know, it seemed like Ben got the start a little bit, and Dustin managed to work it back. I'm curious to see if Ben's going to hit a different angle and possibly try to give him something a little different in this second round.
And shout out to Dustin. He's a presser, but he didn't need the press.
No, he went hook there, and he slowly got himself inside. I know he's been training really hard. I've seen a lot of his videos. Ben, no slouch. Going into, oh,
there we go.
Ben with an outside hit and turns the tide. Wow, two very fast rounds so far.
That's what I was talking about round one. Ben has the ability to make adjustments, and his IQ is right up there with Dan Grosulak and many others here at the arm wrestling table. Can make those adjustments. What a round.
Look at this replay, guys. You can see Ben very snappy there and rolls it backwards. Let's watch a little closer. I can see Dustin kind of goes to cup, but Ben just snaps him out of it. you know, Dustin snapped him in, but didn't have enough side there. If I'm Dustin, I'm looking at more side while I snap in. If I'm Ben, I'm going to be doing the same thing again. More money. You know what, guys? This is the only event I've ever seen where money just gets thrown at the table as the matches are going. Before, after, it's phenomenal.
It's very reminiscent of Gladiator times.
Yeah.
You know, you just pick your 2 guys and have them go to battle. And we're going to round 3 here. I'm curious to see if Dustin maybe shoots in and goes for his lane, that press.
Yeah, his shoulder's much more committed this time. They're going to keep breaking Dustin's shoulder out, and I'm sure he's going to be fighting to get it. And see, this is interesting for me, guys, because I think Dustin is okay without the wrist. Especially in the straps, I could see Dustin getting his wrist taken and maybe being a little bit more successful than when he'd kind of get hooked sideways. Because if you think about Nathan Johnson last year, that's how he beat Dustin. He hooked him. He didn't really grant him the flop. The one round where Dustin did get the flop last year, he looked like he could access more of his side pressure power.
I can't agree with you more. I'm hoping that he does exactly what you just said. Curious to see if the strap plays into Dustin's favor or if it favors Ben in this round. Part of me almost too, I think Dustin has the speed. I hope he's not discouraged by that last round and gives up on some of the lanes that he had success with in round number 1. But we will see going into round number 3.
Shout out to all 120 of you guys watching the arm bender on YouTube and however many are watching through the pay-per-view. If you are, I'll talk about this after, guys. We're getting into the action here. Let's take a look here. Dustin is getting himself involved sideways. I don't know what they're talking about here, but Dustin looking to carve in. Will he give the wrist, I think, is the big question of this match, and will Ben be able to deal with it if he does?
Ready, go!
Ben at the top roll, Dustin holding, not in a very good position. He needs to get his shoulder involved. Ben Brooks doing what I wanted Ian Johnson to do last match and bring his elbow forward, but he's on an elbow foul now, and Dustin, wow.
That is a technical win right there by Dustin Finley. It's now 2-1.
One thing they stress in the rules meeting, don't stop pulling for that very reason.
I've seen this from Ben Brooks before. I noticed a referee will call a foul or something, and he will kind of, maybe doesn't quit pulling, but he lays his attention elsewhere.
Right.
And you can see, as soon as, in this replay, as soon as he gets called for an elbow foul, it's quite amazing how quickly Dustin turns that around. You see him look and talk, and Dustin sneaks it right in there. Very well done by Dustin. If I'm Ben there, though, the elbow forward was perfect. I think that's what Ian should have done to Dan. I don't know if it would have maybe won him the match, but it's the right move to make. You can see Ben here probably thinking about what he needs to do. Dustin needs to keep that shoulder involved and kind of get Ben on his arm more than anything.
And I can understand Ben's frustration there because with those running fouls, if he would have got the win, if he would have got the pin, I don't think it would have counted as a win.
No, it would not have, right? He would have got that pin. It would have been a restart. It would still be 1-1 nonetheless rather than 2-1, but you can get tired, things like that. It's crazy. Devin's forum in the chat here dropping all the matches on the pay-per-view for us. If you're on YouTube right now, guys, I highly recommend you go check out the Premstream pay-per-view. Click the link. All these matches are on there as well as many more. You'll still be able to hear Wes and I. And here we go in round number 3.
You know, for as big as these guys are, I got to give my hats off to them. Their endurance is excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in round number 3.
Go!
To the straps.
Right to the straps. Very fast. Very fast.
There is
Slip
some
there.
power up there right now.
Dustin with a very narrow 2-1 advantage. So far, these matches have been awesome. We got Bam Arm Wrestling in the chat. I can see the chat a little bit, guys. So if you guys want to comment something or if you have any questions, we're more than welcome to answer it. We'll be in here typing a little bit here and there. But the strap is, I think it's interesting for Dustin particularly. I know some people prefer a high strap when they want to protect their wrist a little bit. But it seems like Dustin just wants that strap low to be able to activate maybe some side pressure and pronation as he goes sideways. And I think Ben's going to be just trying to hit that top roll and really keep Dustin out of position like last time.
You know, and Ben is great about keeping you out of that lane if you're trying to access a flop wrist press or any sort of press.
Yeah, oh, Dustin is very inside. Very inside. Wow. Both these guys crowding shoulders. There's so much meat on their shoulders. I can't even see their arms at this point.
Two big boys, no doubt.
Reffing has been very consistent so far. I will give them credit for that. Dustin stretched out. Is it too far? Wow. Wow, this hold is insane.
Dustin staying in there.
Dustin.
And Ben gets the, hard to tell from our angle, but I imagine he broke that parallel
100%,
barrier.
100%. I am very impressed at Dustin's ability to hold there. I think if Dustin gets that stop an inch higher, it's different. Look at here, guys. Like, that is as narrow as it gets. But I find it interesting. Dustin is trying to keep wrist there, like keep wrist neutral. I think he needs to just do what Dan did. And you don't need to win with your wrist. You just need to win the match. 100%.
Exactly. You know, fun fact about this match, these two gentlemen were actually sourced from Kodiak Island out in Alaska. After this match, we're going to get them back to their land there so that they can go get ready for the upcoming spring. But
here we go, back to the table,
both guys chalking up, getting ready.
Our second silver bullet of 3 matches in the Montana Armbender. Up next, we have the first women's match of the Montana Armbender ever. Benski Towing and Recovery sponsoring that one. Susie Palmre, Scarlett, Jade Wood. But for now, we need to see who wins this phenomenal match here. Ben and Dustin talking to each other. I'm really curious to see if Dustin can technically work around, because Ben has been in the advantageous position quite often.
That was a pin.
Wow.
Yep. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a replay here.
I want to see that again.
That was close.
Finley, as you walk off the stage, Dustin, here's 50 from Benski. You're good to go. Thank you for coming. We know that is a heartbreaker. Good job, Dustin. Your winner, Ben Brooks, $600. Ben, after beating a powerhouse like that, I think it's safe to say you're back. I saw you adjusted. What do you have to say about the match and how you pulled it off?
First of all, thanks to Johnson Madison Lumber for sponsoring this. Thanks to Dustin for taking the match. He's really strong. I just knew I couldn't let him get into his power like he did a couple rounds there. There's no stopping it. So I just did everything I could to keep him out of that press.
So I remember you saying, Ben, you're coming back for that #1 spot in Montana. Is that what you want next? Are you looking for a bigger name on the Armbender? What's next for you? Any call-outs?
Yeah, whoever's #1. Leif, wherever you're at.
He just called out Leif Sorensen. He wants that #1 spot back. Congratulations, Ben Brooks. Let's hear it for Big Ben. He's back after an injury against RVJ. It's good to see him back on the table. Thank you, Johnson Madison, for sponsoring that great match.
That's some high-octane arm wrestling here at the Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. Folks, the Montana Armbender brings in 2 hand-picked top arm wrestlers for the first women's super match. The first competitor, a 10-time Estonian champion, also placed 6th at the 2025 WAF Championships. A bikini fitness athlete from Latvia, Susie Palmre.
These guys better keep their eyes up.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Her opponent, a junior IFA world champion, who also placed 2nd at the East versus West tournament. From Jasper, Georgia, USA, Scarlett, Jade.
girl with the first $100. We have another $300 from Benski Towing and Recovery. Westgate Repair, thank you, Joe and Leah. That brings us up to 400. M&D Construction, another 200, or 500. Brings us up to 500. Thank you, Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. 200. What does that bring us up to there? 700. Luke Cote, Gear Grabbers Garage. 800. These girls are gonna make some cash. Listen up. We got another 100 going down. Jeremy Mamano with Send It Arm Fights wanted another 100 down. 800, 900, $900. Woo! Jake Deschner with TNT, Total Nutrition and Tanning, makes it an even $1,000. What is going on? Hey, that's the way to welcome the first women's match ever. Thank you, Montana. Woo! $1,000.
All right, shout out Benski Towing and Recovery for sponsoring this match. Over $1,000 on the table. This is the highest paying match so far. Let's see what happens.
By a margin. These women are bringing the heat by a margin so far. Susie Palmre, Scarlett, Jade Wood getting set up here. Keith wants to see Knuckles on this. I'm very curious to see what goes. Both very decorated athletes. East versus West, second place. That's no joke. WAF placing 6th, also no joke.
Wow. A lot of talent here on the table. Let's see round number
Scarlett
1.
looks high, gets it, climbs back. Very good climb from Scarlett here, but Susie, very solid pronation thus far. Scarlett gets on top of it and gets the pin. Wow. Round 1 for Scarlett. Keith just got taken out by a spinny light there. Oh. We can't take out our only referee, you guys. Let's take a look at this replay.
For the women at the Montana Arm Bender.
Scarlett staying high, climbing in a very close first round. Very impressive, but you can't count Scarlett out. She has the main event, or you can't count Susie out, my bad. She has Sanders in her corner, and I mean, out of all the people here, he's one of the guys you want in your corner.
Absolutely. Technically, maybe one of the best rounds we've seen so far. That was incredible. You can kind of see the adjustments each person was making, fighting for center, fighting to get it on their side of the table, and ultimately Scarlett J. Wood took round number 1. Let's see what happens in round number 2.
Cody Wood giving Scarlett pointers. 2 guys here, co-main event and main event contenders.
Oh yeah.
We're switching sides here. $1,000 on the table. Winner takes all, guys. Let's see what adjustments are made by these women. That was very technical, very impressive arm wrestling. Scarlett gets high, gets really comfortable. Keith's telling them to dump Knuckles, but Scarlett stays up there. Yeah, you can hear Sanders saying higher. Very curious to see where this goes. Getting the wrist straight, and we're about to go here. As soon as that goes, and we go. Scarlett high. Susie with more of a low-handing top roll there. Getting on top again is Scarlett. Will she press her down by the fingers? She is refusing to put her hand down, and we slip. That's got to hurt the hand a little bit.
That did not look good. Very tough position when you're trying to slip, but your opponent has enough grip strength just to keep you there.
Yeah.
Ultimately, finally gets to the slip. What a great round. You know what surprises me? It seems like Susie would have the height because she has the longer forearm and bigger hand. But Scarlett is doing a great job of keeping her riser engaged and not giving up anything.
I think Scarlett's really bullying the riser here thus far, and that's making quite a big difference so far. I wonder if the strap will change that, because you know what? Susie is getting outside still with her pronation, but I don't know if that exploding hand technique is going to work as much outside, or sorry, sorry, inside of the straps.
Right.
Let's wait until I get strapped.
Yeah, again, the strap, it kind of changes everything, the whole dichotomy of the match and just
And
wherever.
Scarlett looks high here. Scarlett looks very high. Susie looks low hand top roll. I can see it, but when you are giving up that much height, it can be very tricky to get around. Although she's moving up now. She's moving up now.
This setup looks like it's favoring Scarlett, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just the way she's setting up straight up and down. Yeah, just getting over top of it like that.
Again, the camera is hard to see, but if any part of the hand, whether it be the knuckle, the finger, the wrist, as long as it breaks that parallel pin pad.
Let's take a look here and see if we can see it again.
Wood is married to Scarlett. He's helping her out over here in
I
her
will
corner.
say, though,
And Sanders is
I'm
longtime
very
boyfriend of
satisfied with how
Susie,
consistent
Valentine
the
couple right
refereeing has
here.
been.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're seeing a lot of the same starts. The things that are maybe not perfect have been not perfect every time.
Right.
And you kind of can get an idea of where you need to go from here on out. So I think if I'm Susie, I recalibrate with Sanders. I go back up to the table and I just focus on getting some height and working from there.
We can see Sanders giving a little bit of encouragement, maybe giving some expertise in what lane and maybe adjustments that need to happen. But Scarlett looks comfortable. We'll see if this third round, again, the very first match we have between Tim and Luke, that third round was a difference maker. So let's see if this third round proves to be the same.
I'm really curious if Scarlett is controlling the height because of her strength or because of technical capabilities here. It's very interesting. Susie's shoulder very committed. Yeah, bringing that back. Very interesting and very good hit. She brings it back. Very good climb on the exploding hand. That's gotta hurt. That has gotta not feel great. It's gonna slip. Straps in round 3 where, I mean, Scarlett was very dominant last time. Benski Towing and Recovery sponsoring this first women's match. Let's see if Susie can bring it back here or if Scarlett's going to take it home 3-0, and we're going to continue on to Easton, McCormick and Chuck Young. A very big match coming up here.
Yeah, guys, the action is only going up from here. It's been a great first 4 rounds. This next section we're going to break here shortly. Man, if you haven't bought the pay-per-view, send that out to your friends again. The more pay-per-views that we can get, the better that we can pay these guys, and on top of what they're already getting if they win the match. And we love to support our competitors and just make this an awesome event. So the link is in the description below. Get that pay-per-view, send it to your friends. You don't want to miss the action. It's only getting better from here.
Yeah, and I mean, Weston, you and I are taking a break after this. I got a poll. You got to get ready. We're going to have Andrew and Daniel Grosulak, who pulled earlier, jumping in. Take a look. Very high from Scarlett. Very dominant. Man, Susie can pull that low hand like no other. She's bringing it back. Scarlett rolled it over. Susie is refusing to give up. Now in more of a flop press position.
Susie has a heart of a lion right now. She's bringing it to her side.
What a match. What a match.
Scarlett getting a little bit flustered. She needs to keep her elbow. Oh,
Susie
man.
has grit.
Wow.
Susie said, not that easy. Hold on a second, guys. We are continuing this first match of the arm bender for the women. Wow.
Cody Wood pep talking, saying, hey, I need money for more weights.
Yeah.
Man, you got to pull this out.
Bob Brown jumped in there saying, all right, Cody, let me say a word or two here. That is a very impressive win for Susie. We got a 40-second rest. You can only imagine how these ladies' arms are feeling. I mean, Susie's hand has got to be blown up at this point, the way it's been pulled back. But she keeps that pronation so well.
She does. Very uncomfortable looking position. But one thing I noticed too, she did a great job of, instead of going back from it, opening up her arm, she came towards the action, got more of her elbow and got more purchase there and was able to bring it to her side. Yeah. I'm curious to see if Scarlett, what that last round did to her going into this fourth round.
I'm curious to see how she adjusts, or if she adjusts, or if she's confident where she's at. I'm also very curious to see I'm just curious to see how Scarlett's arm is after that. I gotta say, guys, this has been quite a technical battle thus far.
Absolutely.
I'm very impressed with both of these women's capabilities and how they've been doing. Scarlett needs just one more to end it. Susie walking back to the stage, getting ready.
Shout out to the chat here, Houdini Sports, we got a match. I can't agree with you more. Man, they just keep getting better and better. Let's see if Scarlett can pull this round out and secure the victory. Susie looks confident here, though. She's getting into the action, bringing her shoulder forward. Round number 4 about to happen. Referee Keith making some adjustments.
And both these ladies match up very well. 5'5" versus 5'7",
Yep.
12.5 versus 11, or 12 versus 11.5 inch bicep, forearms, very equal.
Absolutely.
Been a great match thus far.
Both very, very strong ladies. Both waiting to
That
fire
low
on
hand
go.
looks killer.
Yes.
But she's giving up her rise at her wrist, right?
Ready, go!
Strap.
I'm seeing a little bit of fatigue maybe in Susie's setup, and I'm seeing Scarlett, or a little bit of fatigue in Scarlett's setup. Susie looking a lot more confident in this round.
I'm very curious. If I'm Scarlett, I am putting it all into this one, and I'm getting as much strap leverage as I can. Because I don't know if I want to go into a round number 5 with this low hand that just doesn't seem like the hand will dump, the rise will dump, but the pronation will stay there. I see Porsche in the chat here. Is that Sanders? Yes, that is Sanders. He is pulling on the pay-per-view later. Make sure you get the pay-per-view. The link is in the description. You're not going to want to miss it. You guys think this is great? It's going to keep on going. We have another 9 matches or something. Still, 10 matches is crazy.
Well worth the money, guys. It's pay-per-view is doing very well. The everything is just professional, and
yeah, it's been great so far. And I gotta say, this match is not disappointed at all. We're about to kick off. Scarlett needs to stay high here with Susie.
There we go. I would love to see Scarlett bring that shoulder forward a little bit and get behind her hand.
Wow.
There she goes, that side pressure.
Wow. But she gets up her wrist. Will she keep it?
Scarlett looks like she's maybe pulling it to her side. She's got that pronation engaged.
Wow.
Flop wrist.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Incredible.
That was phenomenal. That was so technical. Congratulations, Scarlett, in a amazing wrestling match for the women. I could not believe that.
And your winner, Scarlett Jade Wood. I have to say that's one of the most exciting matches I've ever seen. You got sweat dripping off you. They gave it everything on this table. She walks away with the 1,000. Incredible upset. Incredible. How did you pull that off? What did you tell yourself? How did you make yourself fight through that and win?
Grit and determination. I know that I prepared the best that I could for this match. I trained so hard, and I couldn't let it go to waste.
Incredible, Susie. You are in line for another match now. Who do you want to call out? You got anyone in your sights?
Y'all line them up. I'll knock them down.
You heard it. Thank you, Scarlett. Thank you. You're good to go. And let's thank the sponsor, Benski Towing and Recovery, for bringing them all the way out here. She wants to say one more thing.
And thank you to Send It Arm Sports, Jeremy, for sponsoring me for this match. Good choice.
Yes, she had 2 sponsors. That's how popular she is. Susie, Benski wants you to have $50. Where's Susie? Sandris for Susie, $50. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going. Oh, for Susie? All right, Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. He wants to give another 100 to Susie. She came all the way from Latvia. Thank you, John Enoch. Thank you, Halftime. Thank you. All right, guys, that wraps the first part up. We're getting way more up the ladder coming up. We're going to take a short break, short 3-minute break, and then it's going to just turn up from here. Woo! All right, listen, 50-50 ticket. Drawing is now at $1,350. So we've already raised like $725 for RVJ, $675, whatever it is. So if you guys want a 50-50 ticket, one for $5, or you can get 5 for $20.
Load it! Let it go!
Broke down and need a tow? Call Benski Towing and Recovery to come and grab you and your vehicle. Located in Great Falls and with over 30 years experience, they have the equipment and the know-how to tackle even the big.
Open up! Open up! Loading! Load it! Let it go!
Broke down and need a tow? Call Benski Towing and Recovery to come and grab you and your vehicle. Located in Great Falls and with over 30 years experience, they have the equipment and the know-how to tackle even the biggest jobs. Their sister company Westgate Repair can get you back on the road in no time. So tow with the pros. Call Benski Towing and Recovery and Westgate Repair, 406-452-5399.
To stay in the back. Dan going sideways. Wow. Bringing Ian over, getting him out of his lock. Now, what needs to happen here is Ian needs to bring his elbow forward.
Broke down and need a tow? Call Benski Towing and Recovery to come and grab you and your vehicle. Located in Great Falls and with over 30 years experience, they have the equipment and the know-how to tackle even the biggest jobs. Their sister company Westgate Repair can get you back on the road in no time. So tow with the pros. Call Benski Towing and Recovery and Westgate Repair, 406-452-5399.
Getting on top again is Scarlett. Will she press her down by the fingers? She is refusing to put her hand down. And
make an adjustment, get his shoulder behind that elbow.
Tim is trying to press. Luke is working it and trying to burn him out. Can Luke finish from here is the question. Yes.
That's all good. Close your thumbs. Close your hands. Go. If they say stop.
Like thunder in the night. Shadows twist, they take.
Or you'll still be able to hear Wes and I. And here we go in round number 3.
You know, for as big as these guys are, I got to give my hats off to them. Their endurance is excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in round number 3.
Go!
Pomps Tire Service, family owned and operated for over 80 years, providing commercial tires and fleet maintenance, tires for cars and light trucks. Pomps Tire Service, dedicated to providing quality, dependable, timely automotive repair. PompsTire.com.
And he slowly got himself inside. I know he's been training really hard. I've seen a lot of his videos. Ben, no slow.
Ready, go!
Going into now in more of a flop press position.
Susie has a heart of a lion right now. She's bringing it to her side.
Wow. What a match. What a match.
Scarlett getting a little bit flustered. She needs to keep her elbow. Oh,
Susie
man.
has grit.
Okay, thank you for your generosity, Montana. When a man's chips are down, things are heating up here. The Montana Arm Bender. We are back with a war. and a competitor called to one mission: to disarm the destroyer. Let's welcome to Montana the 6'3" nightmare from Nebraska, Easton the Technician McCormick.
Hey guys, we're back here at the Montana Armbender. Got a couple new people in the booth. I'm Dan Grosulak, and I've got with me Andrew Quintana here to my right. Tell me a little bit here about Easton.
Well, Dan, it's great to be here with you. This has been such a great event so far, and I just have to say Easton is a completely monstrous, up-and-coming rising star in the arm wrestling world, and he's here to stamp his name and say that he is ready to hang with the veterans of the sport.
Bringing intensity, this 6'2", 261-pound man has been destroying arms since 2012. Coming in hot, it's Chuck the Destroyer Young.
Chuck Young coming to the stage now. Chuck's a longtime veteran of the sport. He is looking to make sure that Easton doesn't think he's quite in the top level yet. Little note on Chuck, his mother did pass away this past week, so he's pulling with a little extra passion. You can see it there in his shirt in memory of his mother who just passed away. So he's got a little extra help in his corner, and he is the most fired up I think I've ever seen him. He's ready to bring the fight.
Oh, Chuck is always ready to bring the fight. Be looking forward to see Chuck's pre-match antics, because you know he's going to be bringing the heat on Easton. He likes to get into his opponent's head before the match even starts, and I don't think we're going to see any different here tonight. One of my favorite storylines of all the matches here tonight, Dan, because this is Chuck proving that he's not ready to give up losses to these up-and-coming guys, and, you know, Easton wants to prove that he can beat someone like Chuck.
You've got it there. I think the first go is going to be a huge tell to how this is going to turn out. Chuck
Pulling him up against the Technician.
It's well known with
Here
Chuck.
we go. Another 200 from Joe Benski and Leah. Benski Towing and Recovery brings us to 300. Gear Grabbers Garage, another $100 brings us to 400. $400. So Chuck wanted to honor his mom coming out on the walkout. Here we go. Another $100. $500 on the table. 500 to start this epic super match.
Let's go, Chuck! Come on, Easton! Come on, Chuck! Come on, boy! Let's go, Destroyer! There you go! Come on, Chuck! It's gonna be bad!
This one's gonna be explosive.
Check. So we're just getting ready here, guys. The grip up's starting. You can see that in this matchup, Easton, being the younger man, though, is also the bigger man. Chuck Young, classic setup strategy here. Lots of gripping, lots of letting go, lots of walking around from the table. Anyone who's been around Chuck a little bit knows this is classic Chuck Young right here. Let's see if Keith Michelle can get these two settled down and get a go to happen.
I definitely agree with you, Dan, that this first go win is going to be pretty much
Clean hit from both sides. Easton proved he does have the speed to hang with Chuck. Chuck going over the top, looking good. Chuck likes the strap, so we'll see what changes up as they're fighting for position as they're putting the strap on here.
And I don't know if you saw anything, Dan, but I didn't really see it. Didn't look like someone got any damage there. Someone had
Another 100, keep right here. Another 100, halftime sports bar and casino. Thank you, Johnny. Easton McCormick from Nebraska is only 20 years old.
We're back back, guys. Sorry there, had a little technical difficulties. Yeah, Andrew, I didn't see any advantage in the first go. Really, I think Chuck went over the top. Easton just let him have it, not wanting to hold on there. As the go starts here, it looks like Chuck is trying to stay as high as possible. Easton just looking to protect his hand and make sure he's getting a good tight strap on the wrist. You can see there Easton's dad in the front, also known to be a bit of a showman, helping out his son there, trying to add some energy.
This is going to be an intense go.
Here we go, folks. We're about to start the match. Looks like Easton's got his cup in. Looks like it's going to give Chuck some problems. If Easton's already cupped in, they're trying to roll him out. Chuck needs to get him rolled out if he's going to want to set up. Oh, Easton puts the hook on. Oh, Chuck Young holding Easton McCormick deep in a hook. Deep in a hook. Chuck Young committed, straight side pressure. Easton looking comfortable though, being patient. Being patient. He looks comfortable. He's holding on. Can Easton work from there? Oh, he comes forward with the shoulder. Easton McCormick with the pin. A lot of versatility there from the young man, Easton McCormick. Chuck got the hit away. Chuck looked good. He committed. Easton looked comfortable holding on the bicep there and simply was able to shift his elbow forward and apply the press pressure. Great win and technical polling from a young man like Easton McCormick. Very impressive. As we go on to round 2 here, we'll be looking to see if Chuck make an adjustment.
Here we go, about to start round 2, guys.
We're looking to see if Chuck can make that adjustment on Easton McCormick. I think Easton's probably very comfortable with how the first round went. Being a young man, liking to pull inside, can pull in multiple positions. The pressure is definitely on Chuck Young to make the adjustment, to find a little bit different lane to get to that pin pad.
Absolutely. I 100% agree, and I think Easton is a person, if you look back at his match with Cote Merritt, he's completely fine with being in deep water. Absolutely monstrous in the endurance department. I had a feeling the speed would be close. I was really surprised and happy to see Chuck was able to get that stop. I think he has the power to be able to get through Easton if he finds the right hand position and setup.
I agree with you there. Look to see if he adds any additional back pressure here. Fatigue, I think, will also be an issue. You know, there's over 25 years of age difference between these pullers. Easton showing that versatility there, able to get out of Chuck's hand without the straps and get that top roll away. So we'll see again with Chuck setting up in the straps if he can do anything with that. Generally, Chuck's hand is his strongest point, so it'll definitely take a little bit of a new lane for him here.
Yeah, I'd actually kind of like to see the lane that he used against Jack Cerveja last year to see if that would be successful. It might neutralize a little bit of Easton's back pressure and help him get into a more advantageous position to hammer down, because he likes to stay tall when he hammers down, and I think that's where he's having troubles right now. He's very much a baseball pitcher on this leg.
Yeah, the strap is being applied here. Thank you to everybody who's in the comments giving us your feedback on how you're liking the arm wrestling here. Don't forget to sign up for that pay-per-view if you are watching the free live stream on YouTube. We want to make sure we can get up to 500 live streams if possible and get all the pullers a little extra money in their pockets. Here they are setting them up.
Absolutely. I'm sure the main event pullers would love to see that bonus hitting. The link is in the description, everyone, for the stream. It is the Premstream link, so be sure to click on that so that way you get to see all the matches, because after the 10th match, we are going to be transitioning to pay-per-view.
All right, here comes the setup. Keith Michelle is getting the grip set. This time Easton does have the buckle. Some people believe the buckle makes a difference, and we will see if that's true.
Easton looks really comfortable right here.
Easton looking supremely confident, switching tactics, trying to get that top roll away. Maybe wasn't the best choice. Chuck putting the side pressure on. Easton, though, look at his face. He looks very comfortable here. Chuck is going to have to start rolling out on that hand to try to apply a little more pressure.
Looks like we might have a call here. Did you see anything?
I think Keith Michelle called a foul, and Tom Vieira called a pin. Easton McCormick with a second pin. Okay.
Great match. Chuck is really hanging in there.
Chuck is digging deep. He is really selling out here, particularly with the side pressure. Not sure the side pressure is going to get it done against this young mountain from Nebraska. He may need to look to see if he can roll out on those fingers. He's winning center. He's getting good position as far as taking Easton's shoulder, but Easton with that bicep is just too strong and able to hold comfortably.
100%. He needs to find a way to gain a little bit more height, keep his knuckles higher. He's getting coached up by Bob Brown, so I'm sure Bob has given him some great information on how to get back in this match. You know, for a long time, Chuck was known as an arm wrestler who pulled through one lane, but he's shown a lot more versatility over the last 2 years. Definitely learned a lot of new tricks, and I think he needs to put them on display here. Again, I keep going back to the match with Jack's Bayhawk, because even though he lost that match, I think what he did in order to pull through with Jack, that kind of like outside but high kind of, what would you call it, like almost like an outside hook?
Yeah,
move.
like
I think that type of word.
like a high hook, kind of a low hand. Here they are setting him up again. You can see the confidence in Easton's face. Chuck is definitely looking like he's trying to find a lane in his hands, see if he can find something a little different. I would imagine Easton's going to be very comfortable here if allowing Chuck to slip if necessary. Oh, and they're going to go straight to straps. Was that, or a ref script?
It looks like ref script.
You can see Easton's dad there in the front making a show of it. He's confident that his son is going to get this done here. Ashley McCormick.
Easton's dad, Ashley, is somewhat similar to Devin's Jody in terms of how he participates very much in the match as well. So it's always great to see Ashley out at these matches. Easton just looks very comfortable in the setup, though. Like, his hand is not being challenged at all by Chuck's. Doesn't look like.
And flash top roll from Easton McCormick. That's the benefit of being young right there, folks. Round 3, and you still have all the gas to hit just as hard as round 1.
Absolutely.
Great effort by both pullers. Great coming out party here in the Montana area for Easton McCormick. I know all the best heavyweights in our area are now going to be looking to pull that young man. Find out if we still got somebody.
Congratulations, Easton. These two are showing some respect for each other. Chuck, Joe Benski wanted you to have this.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
The winner, Easton, the technician, McCormick. Chuck Young has been on fire lately. That is a huge win, Easton. You looked strong. You looked comfortable. What do you have to say about the match and how you won it?
Chuck Young came in here super strong, it really made me had to think. Round 1, he felt stronger than I thought he would, to be honest with you. Not bad for 50 years old, like he said. 55, correction there. But I had to be really smart, had to go inside with him. My goal was to drain him out, and I was able to do just that. And also a huge thank you to Bryan Parliament and the Through the Fingers podcast for sponsoring this match. Thank you so much. A huge thank you to the Lord for blessing me with the ability to be here today. Without him, I wouldn't be here. Travis Kalina, my High Risers team, and my family, of course. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for everyone showing up, and thank you for everything that you've done.
That was an impressive win. Easton, who do you want next? Who do you have your eyes set on maybe for a match at the next Montana Armbender? Who's in your sights?
You know, that's a great question. Well, number 1 right now on the right arm is Leif Sorensen, so I'd love to get a match with him at some point.
Awesome. Great job. Let's hear it for Easton, the technician, McCormick, all the way from Nebraska. Thank you to our sponsor, Bryan Parliament and Through the Fingers podcast.
This next athlete had a big right-handed victory here last year at the Montana Armbender. Making his way back to Great Falls from Sand Hollow, Idaho, R.J. Harrold!
All right, R.J. Harrold. I had the pleasure of pulling this young man at last year's Armbender on the right hand, and he sent me home packing with an 0-3 loss, so I've been able to grip up. Very strong young man, up and coming in Idaho. I think at one point last year he was the #1 right-handed lightweight in the state.
He was.
And actually Idaho's current Alexander Groot we're going to see later tonight.
We've
got great
Randy
representation.
is one of the best arm wrestlers in the USA today. At 5'10", 176 pounds, from Russellville, Arkansas, the electrifying Jake Easton!
Jake Houston's really coming back on a tear. He had that huge win against Dan the Nightmare at the Monster Factory earlier this year. Like you said, last year he did lose to Alexander Grote. Tough loss, and he's back to show that he is one of the top guys, and he really wants to stamp his name, and he says he wants this to be a very dominant win.
And I can agree with that. 2 years ago, I did have the displeasure of gripping him as well. Sent me home packing. So I know both these men very well on the table. They both are very strong. Similar styles, but not exactly the same.
We also have another 100 from Joe Benski and Leah Noel. Benski Towing and Recovery. John Enot, the Halftime Sports Bar and Casino. Thank you, John. Halftime, another 100. 300 on the table. 300 on the table. Here we go. We're going to kick this one off.
All right, guys, here we go. We got two guys who typically want to get their top rolls away. RJ, more of a hand-dominant guy. Jake, he loves the strap when he can get it. So you're going to see them definitely fighting in the setup. You can see RJ's gripping higher. You can see Jake, he's really kind of controlling with those bottom fingers. Both very fast. The first go is going to be super exciting here.
I don't know what they're doing, but
winner. Ooh. Looked like RJ maybe got taken off guard there a little surprise on how fast the start was.
That was a very fast start.
Yeah, they do not call him the electrifying Jake Houston for nothing there. If you blink, you will miss it and be pinned.
Yeah, RJ was not engaged.
It was a good sign, though, that he was strong enough to pull out of the hand. I think you'll see a much better start in the second round here.
I think we definitely will. And what I was trying to say before, too, is I don't know what they're doing in Idaho, but whatever they're doing to build their rise, like they all just have like this iron, rock hard, unbreakable riser, and it's crazy to deal with. Like you said, I think he was caught off guard. Definitely looks like he had enough strength to pull back and out. So I think if he's able to engage faster, he might be able to get in there. But it is Jake Houston, and being able to stop his speed is always the question.
Yeah, engaging that riser looked really good. I think he's going to have to try to engage some sort of side pressure across the top of Jake's hand, because if you let Jake grab the back of your hand and hit, he is going to get you to the pin pad.
Keep it down on center.
All right, here we got another setup going, very similar. You can see how hard RJ's fighting to keep that hand high.
Pull it back like that.
Jake, he's been around the sport a long time. He's not going to waste his energy and blow his hand up fighting for something that you're not going to give him. So we're going to a ref script here.
What do you think is the most important thing that RJ needs to protect?
You wrap it up. Yes. You wrap it up. I don't want my fingers.
I would say he needs to control center through his rise. If he's going to end up on the B side, it's going to be a very long day to pull from that. The worst thing you can do against Jake is try to grab the back of his hand and hold on. So hopefully RJ's posting hard, controlling center. There we go.
Way better.
There, very equal slip there. RJ coming out over the top. Jake more than happy to let that happen. He loves the strap.
And I do think RJ has really good power in the strap. So this could be a heck of a round here, but Jake in the strap is pretty ferocious. He might be even faster in the strap because he is so good at getting that connection and that bite on the strap and really knowing how to get back into it and pulling his opponent's power away from them. So again, big props to RJ for taking this match. I know it's a natural progression for him because he wants to get back to that #1 spot in Idaho. But Jake is such a monstrous opponent who knows how to do everything, and he knows all the tricks in the book.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of those tricks last year, digging out those wins against Alex. I think the same. If you can control the top of Jake's hand with your rising post, that is the way you take him out of his lane. That's what Alex was able to do last year. That's what RJ's probably learning from his fellow statesmen in Idaho to do this year. And that will dictate the match. But you are right. When Jake has the strap on, when he hits, you can feel it all the way through his waist because he's got such good connection when he's hitting that sideways.
Extremely impressive puller. Especially, like, look how much... Here we go, folks.
Oh, very good. Oh. RJ got the hit. He had the control. He just didn't simply have the arm power to hold on to that drag pressure of Jake Houston. Very good looking win from Jake.
Yeah, Jake is just such an insanely good arm wrestler, especially when you look to see how much he's being outhanded in terms of size by RJ. How Jake has learned to utilize his hand, even though he doesn't have the biggest hand in the class, and just be so successful is truly impressive. Just known as one of the best arm wrestlers and one of the guys to be in the class for a reason.
I love watching Jake pull there. He's applying that pronation, not through the fingers, but through the meat of RJ's hand. And you can see how he's breaking him open without moving backwards. And that's where you know you've got a really seasoned puller who knows that his hand isn't quite good enough to dominate. And so he's just using the lane that he's given.
He reminds me almost like a lightweight Travis Dajan.
Yeah.
He maybe doesn't get as much posting height, but like just the way he comes over, yeah.
Yeah, definitely similar styles on the go. I know he'll hit a flop wrist press if he has to, which Travis Bajan I don't think has ever hit in his whole life.
No, I don't think we've ever seen that before.
Yeah, but no, Jake is a wonderful puller, and I'm hoping RJ can find a little success here. Maybe he can hold on a little up high outside of straps. Maybe give Jake something he's not expecting here.
I think it's totally within the realm of possibility.
Ready, go!
RJ is a very solid puller. Lots of impressive wins on his belt. Like you said, last year he pulled you, and you're known as a very versatile arm wrestler and well respected in the community. But we've kind of seen more of the same up to this point. So I do want to see him try something different just to see if it works.
Yeah, and once you're on the table, it can be really hard to switch strategies. I mean, a lot of what these guys are doing is learned over thousands of reps. It's all muscle memory. And another clean slip there. I think both guys are happy to have it. This time Jake does have the buckle. Some people do think that makes a little bit of a difference. This will be RJ's chance to dig deep, come out with something different. Maybe he's got a hook. Maybe he's got something he can do without his wrist. It'll be interesting to see what the young man tries here in the third round.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. One thing that I would really like to see is hopefully RJ somehow gets a little bit more back pressure and gets some more backwards movement just immediately before the go, just to get into the strap a little bit to neutralize some of Jake's power, or utilize a little bit of palm pressure to push Jake towards his shoulders. That way he can't hit as ferociously as he normally does.
RJ's set looks awesome. Ooh, RJ with a much better start. He's got his rotation. Very good pulling from Jake Houston there. He lost his wrist a little bit. He was able to roll out, maintain his rotation, and he just had more side pressure than the young man RJ.
And just as a reminder to everyone in the comment section.
All right, Jake Houston with the big win. Jake came back to make a statement. He looked explosive and strong there. RJ is no light opponent. Jake, how did you pull it off?
What are your thoughts on the win?
Man, he's strong. He's strong. He's a lot stronger than I thought. Blew my hand up kind of a little bit in the beginning, so kind of had to rely on my side pressure again, like I did last year too. But hey, whatever, whatever it takes to get it done.
All right, Jake, who's on the radar next? I have a feeling I know what you're looking for.
Well, we know who I got next here. I'm taking on Alex or Cote, whoever wins. I'll be ready. Give me another year to prep, stay healthy, and I'll come in prepared, and I'll be ready to take them down. Thanks everybody for being out here. My sponsor, Staybridge, and every other sponsor that's out here. You guys are amazing. This is such a badass event, and spending your Valentine's days here with us. And I want to dedicate this to my one of my best friends battling stage 4 cancer, Bo Olson, back home. I love you, brother, and yeah, thanks for having me.
Congratulations, Jake Houston. All right, thank you to the sponsor, Staybridge Suites and Hotel. Hey guys, just so everyone knows, every single match, Benski's been throwing down $50 to the person who loses. Thank you, Joe Benski, Leah, Benski Towing and Recovery. There you go, RJ. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
A tested warrior from the north who looks to put his left arm on the map here today. 6'2", 218 pounds, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, Dakota Shipton.
All right, we got Dakota Shipton here all the way down from Canada coming out to the stage. I know Dakota is ready to put his left arm on display for us here. Talk to him a little bit. I know he's pretty active online with you, Andrew. Maybe you can give us some insight into what he's been thinking with this match.
Well, one thing I know after breaking down many of the matches leading up into this is that he has been analyzing Bryan like crazy and breaking it down piece by piece, watching it frame by frame, literally every single match. And he is ready. He has a strategy.
The legend from Helena, Montana. He has beaten John Berzink left-handed. He has won numerous titles over his 25-year career. 6'2", 210 pounds, Bryan Hollywood Johnson.
All right, Bryan Johnson making his way to the stage, kind of a legend of our area here, a man who has done many impressive things, including that win on John Berzink they mentioned, has always had great showings here at the Armbender. I know he's ready to come make a show of it, make sure Dakota goes home disappointed. Bryan, known for his endurance, known for pulling from unorthodox positions.
Yes, and big shout out to Triple Truck Repair, the sponsor of this match. Totally agree with you. Bryan definitely is looking to make this an endurance match.
All right, Piper, the money girl, coming to the table with $100 to start the match. $100. Wow. Benski Towing is throwing another $300 on the match. $300 by Benski Towing. That brings us up to $400. Barry Bogart, 200 more. That brings us up to $600. Luke Cote, Gear Grabbers Garage, $700. $700 to start the match. Thank you, sponsors.
And just so the commenters, people tuning in know, these are running fouls in the event, so the pullers are not getting stopped. If they foul, they have 3 fouls, and as long as they don't hit that cap, they're going to keep pulling.
Looks like Dakota's getting a lot of love here in the comments. Keep your guys' comments coming. We love to see it. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure you make it over to the pay-per-view. We only have a couple more matches left after this that will be free to see. They're getting these two guys set up. Dakota, like you said, analytic, very technical, lots of questions for Keith Michelle here in the setup. Bryan Johnson, a little more old school, maybe the idea of same thing, only harder.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right on that. One thing we saw was Dakota versus someone we both know well, Declan. So we know he has enough power to get the job done. But again, the thing that's tricky about Bryan is he's going to be able to put people into these positions they've usually never been in before. And Bryan doesn't give up.
Go here. Oh, equal start at the top. That is a very good sign for Bryan, in my opinion. Dakota, a very hand-based puller. Anytime Bryan Johnson gets hand control, that just makes all those positions just a little more uncomfortable.
It definitely does, and I don't think the strap makes that better. So Bryan likes the strap. Dakota also likes the strap, so we'll definitely see who is able to get the advantage here. Bryan does have the buckle, and I'm just going to say it, folks, the buckle doesn't matter. The side of the table matters, but we can just carry on from there. Bryan doesn't care what side of the strap he gets. Look at that hand on it.
Yeah, Bryan Johnson, definitely one of the bigger hands in the contest tonight. Anyone who's had the pleasure of pulling him knows that. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Does the buckle matter? Do you think it matters, or do you agree with Andrew that the buckle doesn't matter?
Yeah, I will die on that cross.
Oh, dominant hand control from Bryan. Oh, very impressive. Bryan Johnson hitting hard to the side, that big hand doing the job to keep Dakota contained. Dakota looked very surprised by that hit by the 50-year-old Bryan Johnson, still looking young on the table.
Proof that the buckle doesn't matter, by the way, but yes, I think that was exactly what we wanted to see from Bryan. The one thing that Brian Parliament from the Through the Fingers podcast, one of the sponsors for this event, was saying is that Dakota is kind of weak to those hard, fast initial hits, and if someone was able to hit him over in the beginning, and Dakota lost his hand, which we haven't really seen. So this is the first time we're seeing a lot of things. This is Dakota's left hand, but he has been training it very hard, and he thinks that his left is just as good as his right now, so
I wonder, yeah, I would wonder, Bryan Johnson had a challenge match a month or so ago against another young man named Dalton who's very strong. He ended up losing that match 0-3, and I think he took some things away from that and went back to the drawing board this last month and changed his game up, and it definitely looks like it's paying dividends here today.
Yeah, he's going through a completely different way than what we saw Dalton for sure.
Listen to me. Wrist. Come on, on the shoulder. You're good. Ready, go!
Bryan's so good at getting that high knuckle.
Yeah, Bryan Johnson's arm is extremely long, and it's with the biggest hand as he has. You almost cannot outrise Bryan Johnson. You either have to hold onto the back and try to cup him down, or you just have to let it go and pull in straps.
It's extremely frustrating, and also the where his thumb meets his palm is very deep. Like just the way his hand is built, you're set much deeper into his hand than you would be a normal hand too. So that's an adjustment you have to make. When I told him last year, it took me 3 tries to figure out that I needed to grip him in a completely different way than I gripped anyone else. And hopefully Dakota can find this so he can find a way to get in this match. I want to see this go back and forth. And I'm sure everyone in the comments does too.
We're doing good.
Yeah, let's see if Dakota, the young men so far today have been showing the versatility. Hopefully Dakota can do the same here. Bryan, look at the look on his face. He is going to go hard and fast. That's exactly what he does here. Hits Dakota off center. Dakota's pulling him back though. Dakota's coming forward. He's starting to test his frame a little. Can Dakota keep climbing? This may look bad, but this is where Bryan loves to breathe. Bryan does not mind being here, folks. He will work from this position. It looks ugly, but he will work.
As long as Bryan keeps his pronation, I think he's fine.
Bryan is making him work for
it. Dakota's working really hard right here.
Oh, nice adjustment. Dakota Shipton was able to crack that wrist selling out, going straight backwards, and then was brave enough to start working that elbow forward to get his side pressure back. Extremely good.
One thing that Dakota's able to do that me and you have troubles with is because Dakota is tall and he has a similar arm length to Bryan, he is able to get into that good high shoulder over the hand press position. That's very difficult for us to get into without losing or sacrificing back pressure or elbow position. So great adjustment, as you said. Let's see if it carries over to the next round or if Bryan makes an adjustment.
All right, so the match is getting quite a bit more interesting here as we go 1-1, 2 dominant wins on each side of the opponent. Take a minute to thank Triple Truck Repair for sponsoring these guys here. What do you think, Andrew? Do you think Bryan's going to change it up? Do you think Dakota's going to do the same thing?
I kind of want to see if Bryan is going to try that explosive kind of high hook that he did on Dalton. He got Dalton very close to the pin pad, just hitting him with that really fast, powerful inside move he has. I want to see if he can do that here, but Dakota might have too much pronation and back pressure to make the inside move possible.
And it is very difficult once you've given up your wrist once to get it back.
Yeah. Which is actually impressive for Dakota because Dakota lost his hand in the first round.
That is true, yeah. Maybe another one of those benefits of being a young man, that quick recovery, that easy blood flow. They're strapping him up again here. Both athletes are giving it their all. You can see it by the look on their faces, the heavy breathing, a little bit of sweat starting to come down.
And Dakota has some of the best training partners you can ask for. He trains with the Red Deer Club, the Edmonton Club, all these big clubs up in Alberta. He's all over the place. One of the top-ranked pullers up there currently down here. But, Bryan's showing that, Montana can hang with the best of them for sure.
Very rarely have I ever seen Bryan be dominated in a match. His tools and his skill level is such that you have to be 30-40% stronger or he's
yeah, absolutely. Let's see what different. So it looks like the hand position is different here. Dakota's setting up.
Dakota selling out with that pronated back pressure. Bryan working more the side pressure, trying to get Dakota outside of his shoulder. Bryan applying that pressure into the strap, trying to keep Dakota's arms trapped. Bryan is going to have to work himself around if he's going to keep Dakota from coming in with that. Oh, and we're in a hook.
There it is.
This will be a, they're stopping the match. Who had 3 foul?
That's frustrating.
That's got to hurt for Bryan Johnson. Getting in the hook has got to be a bit of a dream for him to get Dakota inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly where he wants to go if he can get there. But Dakota's been so good at getting that just excellent post. Must be a lot of pressure because Bryan doesn't usually get denied the hook too often either. So one of the benefits of having that hand that he does is he's able to get a lot of distance back through, and Dakota's doing a good job of stopping it here. But Dakota did actually look good there because it stopped and it looked like he was able to kind of regain ground. I would love to see this go back into a hook and watch that play out.
I would love to see this go into a hook. Bryan Johnson, if he does get in a hook, he's going to have to fight hard to keep his shoulder line.
Who am I kidding though, Dan? I'd like to see every match go in a hook.
That is true. Everybody loves the hook war. Everybody loves the hook war, right? Top rolling is just for the guys who don't want their elbows to hurt. That's all that is.
Before, ladies and gentlemen, Bryan has been here before. No one has more heart than Bryan Johnson.
Both guys sweating, both guys taking a little bit deeper breaths. Bryan looking very comfortable outside the straps. Good hit. Oh, Dakota holds on, grabs those fingers. This may not be the greatest idea for Dakota. His wrist does going back a little bit, and squeezing those fingers may get a little more blood in his hand than he would like.
Yes, that was one thing I was a little bit worried about in an earlier match between Scarlett and Susie. I thought maybe Scarlett had worn down her hands from gripping so hard in the beginning, but she was able to come back and pull that off. That is one thing that you really have to be aware of, especially in the super match format. sometimes clamping down super hard can wear you down and stop your ability to be able to do that in the future.
Definitely. Usually once you've lost your hand, you don't get her back until at least the next day, if not longer. So
sometimes it could be a week for me.
the technicals in this match are kind of deepening. Everybody's digging a little bit further down the technique rung to find the next thing that's going to work. Remember, guys, we only got 2 matches left after this on the free stream on YouTube, so do get over to that pay-per-view, get us to that 500 mark so we can give a little more money to these athletes.
Ready, go!
Ooh, big hit from Bryan. Big hit. This is going to be hard to come back from.
Big hit, yeah. Took a little bit of the wrist to Dakota. Dakota is in a spot. He is fighting hard, though. He's given a little of his wrist up to keep his rotation, and just enough. You can see the look on Dakota's face. He wants to come forward. He wants to put his shoulder in, but can he fight the side pressure? Bryan Johnson climbing up over the top, getting the top roll away. Can Bryan Johnson get this pinned, or is Dakota going to come underneath with the press? Bryan Johnson's got to come up and tighten that elbow, get more down pressure. Dakota's in with this flop press. Dakota's in with the flop. You can see the pain on his face. You can see the pain on his face.
Oh, but he dropped pretty low. He dropped pretty low on the arm. It's going to be hard.
Oh, it's going to be hard to pin from here. Bryan Johnson has got to work his hand up and get his shoulder around so he can press Dakota. Dakota is in excruciating pain. Oh, and there's the hit from Bryan. There's the Bryan. Oh! Wow. Bryan Johnson brings it back. 2-2.
What a match. What a match. Look at Bryan down there.
I will say this right now. If Dakota Shipton wins this match after that round, he will deserve everything he gets. To give your hand up, to grind that hard, and then know you have to grip up again in 40 seconds. That is every arm wrestler's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Look at him laying on the ground.
Dakota is doing everything he can to recover. You have to. That took his elbow, his hand, everything is fatigued from that. The only thing I could say, though, is that Bryan did look like he was working fairly hard, too. So you never really know who got the most taken out of them, but we have to agree that Dakota definitely got fatigued more from that position.
Yes, for most of, if you're not familiar with the sport, Dakota most likely cannot feel anything below his elbow right now. From his elbow through his fingertips are most likely so swollen and numb that he is just going to have to go up there with sheer willpower. Outside of straps, this is a very good time for Bryan to hold on. Use the fact that Dakota's hand is going to be completely numb and try to get a flash pin, whether that's a sideways hit and a hook.
Joe Benski makes it $1,100.
More money. This is such a good
more
match.
money on the table. Tell us in the comments, have you ever been to an event where there will be 15 matches with $500 to thousands of dollars on the table from the crowd, making these bigger? This is why the Montana Armbender is making noise. This is why people love to watch the stream, because not only are the athletes all in, but the people in the building are all in on making this something that they don't forget all year long.
We have the best fans in Montana around the world. The fans are just, look how much noise. This is the only arm wrestling event in the world that's not dead quiet.
Yeah. And look at the blood on Bryan Johnson's forearm from the strap. Look at the bruising and the blood. These guys are battling it out. Absolute war here between Dakota Shipton and Bryan Johnson.
Really good hand position. Oh,
neither athlete holding on. Both probably cannot feel their hands.
No, I would venture to say that both of their hands are done. Whoever has a little bit more gas might get it, but I also kind of have a feeling that they might just like rotate and both go in, and there might be kind of a double press. We might even see a King's move here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double King's move or something.
At this point, it's hard to predict. Whoever doesn't win the back pressure battle is gonna end up flop wristed.
Bryan
And so
has one foul.
it is going to be a
Restart.
vicious battle for controlling center and keeping your shoulder in the game.
Let's go, guys, to the
These guys are going to be
table.
feeling it for weeks. This is rough. This is a tough one. Warriors. Absolute warriors here.
And this is what Bryan Johnson is known for, folks. He is known for making the matches ugly, making them long, making you work from every position. And Dakota came saying, I am ready for that challenge, Bryan. I will sell out in every position.
Dakota has been such an amazing athlete to bring down from Canada over the years. We've had a relationship with the Canadians over in Alberta, and Dakota's come down and he's pulled with the best of our guys.
Yeah, and look at, even just grabbing a grip, you can see the grimace on Dakota's face, the pain he is in trying to close his hand at this point. The sweat is flowing. They're starting to figure out if they got any more left in the tank.
You got to shake that crank out of there, though.
Yeah, Bryan looks a lot more comfortable now. Looks like he's kind of recovered.
Early start from Bryan Johnson there. He's wanting to get this done, get some ice on that arm.
Keith scolding him a little bit there.
To the straps, clean slip.
But Dakota still seems to have some snap in his hands, so that's good to see.
Yeah, Dakota, I mean, you got to give it to them. These guys are putting it all on the table. This is why we watch the arm bender. This is what we want to see. This is why we love the matches that Josh Wilson is putting together for us here in Great Falls, Montana, bringing elite level battles for us to watch in the sport of arm wrestling.
Some of the most exciting matches every single year. There's upsets every single year. People, this is one of the, if not the premier event in North America right now. Definitely get your pay-per-view. We only have 2 more matches, like Dan said. The link is in the description. Now's the time to sign up for it. Let's see how this match continues on.
And remember, guys, we will see the all-natural, both lightweight and heavyweight world championships in that pay-per-view. It is on. Bryan hits sideways. Bryan's got control. Dakota is selling out through his back pressure. He's trying. Bryan being very patient, just sitting on the arm of Dakota through that strap, hoping he'll hit and open himself up. Dakota showing the bravery to come forward. He wants to get that press back in. He can't quite get his elbow forward. He's coming off the side of the pad.
Yeah, I think Bryan's just going to be patient and sit here and see if Dakota has enough heart.
Bryan Johnson super patient here, but if he does go past neutral, he will have to stand up. He cannot be in a King's move position. He's going to lose the match on fouls. Oh my gosh, Bryan Johnson loses the match on fouls for the King's move position, declining humerus. And Dakota Shipton takes the win.
Takes the win.
Oh.
Dakota Shipton with the win.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of fun. Who wants to see us pull right arm right now? The boss says best 2 out of 3, but we'll do best out of 3 right arm right now.
Benski's gonna put 500 down right now to see them go best 2 out of 3 right-handed. 500 bucks.
I'm having so much fun with you guys. Let's do this again.
This one's a best 2 out of 3. Best 2 out of 3. 500 from Joe Benski down on the table. Benski Towing and Recovery is sponsoring this match.
Look at the sweat dripping off Easton. Let's see what happens right-handed. That left-handed match is the top 3 most intense matches I've ever seen at the Arm Bender.
All right, guys, we are back. This is why we love the Montana Arm Bender. Who does Dakota want after he just won on the left hand? He wants Bryan Johnson on the right arm. These 2 athletes are going to do it again on the other arm. Best 2 out of 3. $700 from the crowd back on for an unplanned match. And let's see what happens to these 2 warriors on the other hand. Oh, Bryan Johnson going forward, definitely a different strategy. Dakota, very nice win, dominant top rope performance there on the right hand.
Yeah, Dakota is a right-handed primary athlete. Originally, this match was supposed to happen on the right hand, but Bryan was a little bit worried about some lingering issues, but I know he feels a little bit better now than he did in the past. So let's see what he does to try to get into this match here, because I do think that Bryan's right arm is actually more versatile. Like, his left arm might have a little bit more power, but his right arm has shown crazy versatility. He had a war with Miles Hutton last year where they just went all over the place, and Miles had to pull everything out of the bag to get in there.
Yes, Bryan Johnson's hooking and inside power on the right is much different than his left. Left generally an outside polar, generally a top roller. There he goes. He puts the hook in. This is what he wants against the young man Dakota Shipton. This is where Bryan is known to sit and hold on for days and days and days. It'll be interesting to see if Dakota can put this into a top roll from here. Not sure he's going to have the elbow integrity to press through it. Oh, he's looking good, though. He's rotating that pronation down. Bryan needs to come forward. Yeah, Bryan needs to come on the offense. Oh,
that regrip got him right there.
Dakota Shipton able to regrip into about a half a can opener and get the second win, and that's the victory. Best 2 out of 3. Dakota.
That was the most hard-fought war I've ever seen. Hey, let's hear it for Bryan Johnson.
Bryan just turned 50 years old this year. 50 years old, and he's still taking on a monster like Dakota Shipton. Dakota, I'm impressed. What do you got to say about that match and your left-handed match?
Here, you hold it. I can barely talk or move my arms, guys. But Bryan Johnson is a phenom. He's been doing this forever. I appreciate him even taking this match. It's awesome to have all you guys here. Thank you, Benski, for your sponsoring. Everybody who's here, you guys make this the most special arm wrestling event ever. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there as well. It's a great day, but I got to go sit down, guys. Keep the action going. Buy the pay-per-view. There's going to be more great matches just like that one. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Dakota Shipton. Let's hear it for him, folks. He trained extremely hard for that match, and all he thought about was Bryan Johnson. Incredible performance by both men. Thank you, Joe Benski with Triple Truck Repair and Leah Noel for sponsoring that match.
Now that is some fireworks here at the Montana Armbender. Folks, we are still climbing the ladder to the top. Next up, a powerlifting powerhouse from Great Falls, Montana. He has some major arm wrestling wins here last summer. At 1/4 inch short of 6 feet. At 253 pounds, Tyler the Tank Weaver.
All right, Tyler Weaver here coming into the building, folks, and Tank is about the best name you could think of this gentleman. Just look at the shoulders on him, an absolute giant of a man. Strong, fairly new to the sport, only been in it a few years now, but he is taking that strength and that powerlifting background and bringing it to the arm wrestling table. Oh, there we go, a little Stephen Austin action there.
Heck yeah, I love to see it. And, you know, down south, that's what we say is thicker than a can of busted biscuits right there. So, yeah, the Tank is a very apt nickname. Lots of power,
This
fairly new.
man lives to pull. At 5'11", 242 pounds, from Great Falls, Montana, he is the Johnson Madison Lumberjack, Robert the Bulldog Petley.
Robert Petley coming down the hall here, guys. A local of the sport here to Great Falls. Local favorite, great guy. Definitely a hand control puller. This will be a battle of styles. Tyler Weaver definitely relies on that horsepower behind his wrist. Petley loves to take that hand control. He's kind of got a patented famous move where he cups and uncups and kind of works his wrist as he's top rolling you down. I don't think anyone in the sport has ever done that other than Robert Petley.
Yeah.
Should be a great match. Will determine a lot on who can win the side pressure battle, who can control center.
Yeah, I think Robert will definitely be looking to end this quickly, though, because Tyler's an arm wrestler that's known for a long time, and is completely fine with it going into an endurance match. And Petley's had some issues. Like
another 300 from Joe Benski. Benski towing and recovery.
Robert was able to pull through and
300 from the halftime sports bar and casino.
It's behind it. We're probably going to see a lot of money going down on the table.
Another 200 from Teddy Homeland. Thank you, Teddy. What are we at? We're like 800 or more. Oh, right here. Hey, the announcer,
all right, guys.
Bob Wilson,
the money is coming in. The money is coming in. Robert Petley, a local favorite. Let's see if we can get this match over $1,500. Let's see how much money flows in here.
From the Montana Armbender and its sponsors. Here we go, folks. Two
Everyone
great falls
loves
favorites.
Robert. The sponsors love Robert. He actually works for them. Johnson Madison Lumber, big shout out to them. They've been a big supporter of the Montana Armbender over the years.
And this is our second to last match before the free stream ends, guys. So get over there and get that pay-per-view if you have not got it now. The setup is on. You can see
right there.
Robert Petley looking for that high grip. Oh, Tyler Weaver puts him inside, though. This is where Tyler wants to be. You can see Petley trying to get back out, but Tyler Weaver wants to be here, folks. He's comfortable working. Petley hitting a bit of a Kings. It looks like he's going to get some running fouls here from head ref Keith Michelle. Tyler Weaver with the victory.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough start for Robert. I think
from MND Construction on this match. Thank you, MND.
I agree. I think Robert getting put in that hook is going to get him to be a little more anxious, wanting to be a little bit faster on the go.
For sure. And if he has a good corner, if someone was in his corner right now, I'd be saying get back a little bit further, back pressure more, get into that hand. Don't let Tyler get into that full hook like he likes to get into, because, man, he is so powerful in that position.
Definitely. Pulling these gentlemen a little bit in the past. Tyler Weaver, you really got to get him palm up. If you let him get his wrist bent, if you let him start moving sideways, he's got too much horsepower. He's got too much mass behind that hand. But if you can get him palm up, that gives you a chance to work.
Give me a little square. Okay, now, settle.
Robert Petley here looking a lot harder to get into those fingers of Tyler. Much better job from Robert Petley. He gets the top roll away, gets through the hand of Tyler Weaver. Weaver coming forward, giving up the wrist.
I'm not too sure if they're going to call on that one.
Strap.
Okay, strap. That makes sense. And again, for anyone tuning in now, these are running fouls. Please keep that in mind. 3-foul system, and they are running fouls.
Yes, the rule system here at the Montana Armbender is very different than most what people are used to, particularly if you're watching WAF or IFA type of situations. 3 running fouls. They will only stop the match if there is a pin, the hands come apart, or if there is a third foul. So no, in the event that there is a pin with a foul, it is the referee's discretion if that foul contributed to the pin or not. So different rule set. We like the action here. We want to see guys get pinned. We don't want to see guys lose on fouls. And that's what these rules are designed to do. Make this fun for everybody here, including the athletes and the people watching.
100%. It was heartbreaking seeing Bryan lose on fouls, and the rule system is designed to try to prevent that as much as possible, but, you know, it can only do so much. These guys are putting everything on the line. They've come from far away. You know, arm wrestling is a combat sport, and there's a lot of motion that goes into this, and we do want to see those pins.
And this is a great chance to give a big thank you to our referees, Keith Michelle, head ref, and Tom Vieira, down ref. 2 of the best refs you'll find in the sport. Again, being able to put Petley in the hook, coming up, and Tyler Weaver getting the pin again. What adjustment do you think Robert's going to try to make in this round? Oh, that was
I'm not sure that, you know, I think what Robert needs to do, if I was Robert in this position, I would try to come forward and crowd the center of the pad or the center of the table and stay forward at the front of the pad and not allow Tyler to get his hand in front of his shoulder because, man, that's just, like you said, it's so much moving mass to stop right there.
I agree with you 100%. I think by pulling backwards, he's actually opening the lane for Weaver by staying forward and top rolling from that high position. He may have better luck. So we'll see if Robert Petley's got anybody in his corner, if he's thinking that. Sometimes you get used to that dragging top roll and you just get real, kind of like a Tim Bresnan almost style, you know. And if it gets away, it's great, but if you've got a guy who's able to cup you down, it gets real hard to apply any side pressure when you're leaning away from the table that way.
It is for sure, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because as you pull back and open up, you're also reducing your power. So, yeah, it's a tough position to be in. Petley definitely white-knuckling here. So.
Ready, go!
Petley getting that top roll away, though. Strap it up. So Petley's showing the hand dominance. He's showing he has the hand and wrist to take care of Tyler Weaver. But Tyler Weaver is just so committed to going sideways. It doesn't matter what his hand looks like. He's going that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm not really sure, honestly, at this point, who I would say is favored in the strap. I think they both have positives they can gain. It's just a matter of who gets them. Although I will say that if Petley does go for a top roll in the strap, he might want to grab a little bit lower to block the wrist of Tyler, because if Tyler gets that press and gets his shoulder behind it, it's going to be extremely difficult to stop.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing here will be, does Robert stay forward on the table, keep that hand as close to his chin as he's comfortable, and try to move sideways across to the pin pad. If he ends up pulling backwards, it's going to give Tyler that lane to get his shoulder in there.
Yeah, and he's sitting back. He's bending his legs. He's sitting back a little bit, so it's making me think he's not going to go front there. Yeah,
and he does pull back. Tyler is able to get that cup in. It is close.
Weaver trying to work into a press.
Petley needs to stand up and come forward. Tyler Weaver is standing up and coming forward. Petley needs to stand up and come forward. He needs to stand up. He's going to end up going off the back of the pad. He's coming on. Tyler Weaver selling out for the press. Selling out for the press. Tyler Weaver re-gripping. They're in a hook. They both have 2 fouls. Next foul with Tyler Weaver with the win. Fantastic arm wrestling there.
It's a little bit too much horsepower for Tyler. A little bit too much.
And I know, talking to Tyler, he said he was training hard for this match. He felt good.
All right, what an incredible win by Tyler Weaver. As part of the Montana Armbender rules, if you do not make weight, you split half of the pot with your opponent. Petley made weight. We will split half of the pot right now, but we still have a winner. Great job by Tyler Weaver. Just give it to Tyler. Yep. All right, we got an even split. So Benski wants to give you 50. There's your half. There's your winning, Tyler. Both Montana boys walking away with cash. Thank you, guys. Tyler Weaver, I have to say I'm very impressed with you. You've been improving every time you come on the table. That is a tough opponent. Your hand looks stronger than ever. How did you pull it off?
Somebody give me a hell yeah! No, it was fun. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Petley. Sorry I suck at making weight, but great time. Thanks, Josh.
Great job, Tyler Weaver. Who do you want next?
I don't care. It's just arm wrestle.
All right. Thank you to the Johnson Madison Lumber for sponsoring this match. Petley has something he'd like to say to the crowd.
Hey, man. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Johnson Madison. Thanks for the family coming all the way from Billings and everywhere else. Thanks, Tyler Weaver. He's a badass. Thanks.
Great job, Petley. Great job, you guys. Thank you. Johnson, Madison.
This next competitor has never lost a single round at the Montana Armbender. The man with the warrior's heart. He's 5'11", 219 pounds from Tuttle, North Dakota. Nathan Johnson!
All right, Nathan Johnson coming to the stage here, folks. Great guy from the North Dakota area, known for loving to grind these matches out. He gets to the worst possible position, and then he likes to start working. Known for coming forward, known for wanting to put people in the hook. It will be a great challenge for him to work against Miles today, because Miles is...
This next arm wrestler dominated last year, winning his Montana Armbender debut 3-0. The fast rising arm wrestling star with huge hands is 6'3", 218 pounds. Coming from Turner, Montana, the 2025 undefeated Canadian national champion at 220 pounds, Miles Ironhand Hutton.
Miles coming to the stage now, made a splash at last year's Armbender, winning dominantly over Dakota Shipton, I believe,
Yes,
was
it was
his
Dakota.
match, and making a big splash. I know living close to the border, he's able to both go to Montana and to Canada to train, getting the best of both worlds there, learning from both sides. Definitely one of the up-and-comers of the sport, like people said. One of the most gifted people physically I've ever seen for the sport as far as hand size, arm length, just raw power. Should be a great test for both these gentlemen.
Yep, if you could pray for a set of attributes to make you the best arm wrestler ever, you would pray for what Miles.
And then we've got 200 from Benski Towing and Recovery. And then 200 from M&D Construction. Thank you, M&D. We are at $500. 3 from Hutton Ranch. I have a feeling that's Miles' family and his mother right there. 300, that puts us at $800. $800.
All right, going into this match, I think we kind of know where Nathan's going to go. He's very adamant about his style is his style. Miles is kind of the opposite polar. He is known, he will go anywhere it takes to win. He doesn't care if he needs to press, if he needs to top roll, if he needs to hook. He's willing to do it anywhere. It's hard to see someone being able to turn Miles inside, so I'll be really looking to see what Nathan does with his hand.
And on the first go there, guys, Miles does take hand control. Nathan smartly not holding on, pushing through, looking for the strap. He wants the strap. Thank you to our sponsor, M&D Construction, here on this match. Remember, guys, this is our last free match before the pay-per-view. So if you want to keep watching the action, if you want to keep seeing these great athletes, get over to the pay-per-view link in the description on YouTube and get that pay-per-view set up. This is where Nathan wants to be. Miles looked very comfortable. He looks very confident, calm, and collected. Nathan with his patented "nothing bothers me" at the table look. We'll be happy to see what happens here. You see how deep Nathan is gripping Miles. That big hand, Nathan is trying to go straight out of it, all the way behind it. Really going to attack the rotation here of Miles Hutton, I think you're going to see.
Yeah, this is going to be everything right here.
Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Let's see if Nathan can turn him in. He needs to turn him in.
Ready, go!
Oh, Nathan Johnson does turn Miles Hutton in, but it doesn't make a difference. Straight to the pin pad. Just way too much pinning side pressure there from Miles, the hand Hutton.
You know, Miles is definitely, you know, a lot of times the word prodigy gets thrown around a lot in arm wrestling, but Miles is definitely worthy of that word, because not only does he have the tools to succeed, he has the desire to succeed. We've really been seeing it. He trains with the Medicine Hat team up there in Canada under the tutelage of Eugene, one of the best arm wrestlers, period, regardless of weight class. So it's really seen his just ability to be on the table just grow by leaps and bounds, and he will likely be our premier puller one day out of Montana. I really believe in this guy. I think he's going to go to big places.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think I met him 2 years ago, and I thought the same thing. I gripped up with him, and I said, you'll go as far as you want to put in the work. The Lord blessed you with everything you could need.
Absolutely.
And he's taken that, and he's ran with it. He has put in the work, and it is showing. I think I agree with you. I think he'll be top 5, top 10 in his weight class here within the next year or two.
100%.
And so for all of you big name pullers, if you want to come to the Montana Armbender, if you weigh 220 pounds and you think you can beat the Miles, the Iron Hand Hutton, go get a hold of the Montana Armbender. See what's going on here. Nathan Johnson is not out of this match yet. He's known for digging them out deep. I want to see Nathan put the brakes on here. We'll see what he can do inside the straps here in the second round. I've seen Nathan come back from nastier places.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Nathan is a person that I think we probably both have a lot of history with. We've both pulled him many times. I want to see ways that he can get in this match 100%, and I think he does. When that match stopped inside in the last round, he stopped a lot higher than he would like to. Nathan likes to kind of almost like a low hand hook come straight across, and I think if he gets into that position, we could see something better. But against Miles's hand, it's so look how good, despite that hand size, Miles can get that knuckle high because he's so strong.
Oh, much better from Nathan Johnson here. Much better. Nathan came up higher, applied a lot more back pressure. He's definitely got Miles Hutton in an uncomfortable spot. Fantastic adjustment from Nathan Johnson. This is why we love to get these guys together, making the adjustment. I don't think we're going to see Miles go for the hook this next round. Maybe got a little overconfident in the arm power there and let Nathan go to his strongest point and was not able to dig out of it.
Yeah, see how he got his hand just digged in low right there. He was taking a knife down. That's where Nathan wants to be. He's not really into that high hook stuff. We know that he's going to have plenty of side pressure training with Clifton Erickson. So yeah, I think from here on out, we're going to see Miles try to explode back into that top roll and work from there, because yeah, that inside power is crazy.
Exactly. I think Nathan Johnson's adjustment, what I was seeing in the setup, tell me if you agree, he went from gripping as deep and low as he changed his angle to much higher, created that space in between his pinky finger and the back of Miles' hand, and was able to come down on the wrist and really negate the dominance of Miles' hand.
Yes.
And he isn't known as the Iron Arm Hutton, he's known as the Iron Hand Hutton.
That's absolutely true. And one thing I will say is this is actually the first time, though, that we're seeing Nathan's hand being taken at the Armbender. So still an impressive feat that Nathan's having to go there, but he needs to do what he needs to do to get to the strap. You know, and I think both of them are happy to go there. I don't think Miles is against it. But yeah, I think we're going to see a much different move, because now Miles knows that inside game is serious.
Yes, and sometimes when you win the first round easier, you get a little overconfident. You want to test yourself against the other guys. And Nathan is no guy to test yourself against. You need to work hard to put him away quickly, because he does get better as the match gets longer and nastier.
Oh, yeah.
He gets better. He tires very quickly. He likes to make it a dogfight. He likes to make you work from bad positions.
Okay, now give me a little shoulder. Give me a little shoulder action. I like that right there.
Here we go. You can see Miles much higher knuckle. You can see Miles with his chest close, wanting to go backwards. Not able to get it away, though. Miles is able to get better position in the hook, though.
Wow, I'm really surprised.
Nathan is putting on a clinic for anyone who wants to be an elite hook puller. Nathan Johnson is putting on an absolute clinic. If you want to know what do you do when the guy you're pulling has a better hand, watch some tape of Nathan Johnson. He is doing what you have to do.
I'm going to be watching this match a lot because that is a hand that I struggle to find a way around. So yeah, definitely need to see and analyze and break this apart. Because again, that was a perfect angle to see, like just how big Miles' hand is. Like it's insane.
And you can see how he's past Miles' hand and his hand is on Miles' wrist. And that is what is allowing him to place that down pressure on Miles' bicep and keep away from that rotation that Miles has through the hand.
Yeah, I mean, this is an amazing match. Nathan showing that, you know, despite the way that first round went, he's definitely in this match. And I'll have to be eating dust myself because, you know, I called this in my predictions a 3-0 in Miles' corner. And now here we are with Nathan up 2-1 against Miles. So definitely big respect to you, Nathan. I eat crow on this one. Amazing showing.
You and I both. After that first round, I did not think Nathan would be able to set the hook. However, he has made the adjustment. Now, he doesn't look like he's nearly as deep, but I think he's looking to slip and go to the strap. I don't think Nathan's looking for a good setup here. I think he's looking to push through and get tied arm to arm. He's just trying to keep enough pressure to get that go, to say go. But
that could make him weak to Miles coming forward, though.
Yeah, there you have. He's selling out for the flop wrist press. Miles, you can see he's got a little bit of frustration on his face. He knows he's got the better hand, but he can't seem to apply it. Hopefully he can figure out a way to get away from Nathan's cupping side pressure down on his wrist. This reminds me a little bit of when you would watch John Verzink pull Cleve Dean back in the day. The guy that Cleve Dean was known, nobody could deal with his hand and wrist. And so John Verzink just started gripping him low and arm wrestling his arm and not his hand. And this is a very similar situation here where Nathan Johnson has made probably one of the better adjustments of the night, has gone from getting beaten decisively in round one to putting on a clinic of setting a hook against a hand dominant
Did you
puller.
see just how far forward or through
Yeah.
he was? That is awesome. And yeah, Miles looks like he's really struggling with finding a way to fill Nathan's fingers, like his pinky.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And Miles' pronation was completely gone. You can see the disappointment on Miles' face. Nathan Johnson, it might have not been the match of the night, but it was definitely maybe the performance of the night to come back and put that clinic on the left arm.
$50 from Joe Benski. Tell him thank you. Great job, Miles.
Nathan Johnson, your winner, and still undefeated at the Montana Armbender. Every person I have put in the front of this guy, he has knocked down. Unbelievable. What do you have to say about the match? How did you pull it off? Everyone was wondering how you could get around Miles' hand. What did you do to prepare? Tell us a little bit.
I told people on the podcast I have more experience. They doubted me. Miles pulled the pile. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I have pulled the pile. So it was experience. I want to thank the sponsors for the match. M&D Construction. I want to thank my team. I want to thank my supporters that rooting for me today at home. Yeah, amazing match. Miles, super strong guy. I mean, he's got some major wins. Just, yeah, experience got me inside.
Incredible job, Nathan. He says experience is what got it done. Nathan, who do you want next, man? You pretty much can name them now because you've been beating everyone I throw at you. Who do you want?
I am not sure at this moment. I wasn't 100% positive. Dealing with a little pain coming in, but if I can do this with a hurt shoulder, give me 6 months and I'll let you know, and I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
Congratulations, Nathan Johnson. Thank you to the sponsor of this match, M&D Construction. All right, everyone. We're about to do the 50-50 drawing right now. Right now. Go ahead, put the lid on. Put the lid on. Bring it up. I'll shake it up here in front of everyone. Piper is going to do the drawing. Here we go, 50-50. Jess, come up here and okay, I got this. All right, hang on. All right, everyone watch close. I'm going to shake this thing up like crazy. We have mixed this thing many, many times. Piper's going to reach in there and pull one out. Let me tell you the numbers we got for cash right now. 1,565, 1,565. Half of that's going to RVJ's kid and his family who's struggling with his brain cancer right now. The other half is going to you, the winner. Don't forget, we also raised another 1,000 between Benski 500 and Luke Cote 500. Gear Grabbers Garage. With that amount, we brought RVJ and his family to their goal amount of money to be raised. Thank you guys. I know they appreciate it. They love you guys. We're going to have RVJ back here again someday. He thanks you all. Thank you, Montana. Let's get this drawing going. Piper's going to reach in there and pick one ticket out. One ticket, Piper. She's making it fun. Here we go. She's going to hand me the ticket, and I'll read it off. All right, here we go. The winning number, 2, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4. I can read it again. 2, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4. 2, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4. Do we have a winner? Looks like a winner is coming down. Who do we got? Who do we got? Come on down. We've got some cash for you. Let's see your ticket. Let's see your ticket. Let's confirm. 2, 3, 1, 6, 4, 2, 6, 4. Right here. You wanna? We'll put this on film. Here we go. Just so people can see. Let's see if you can get a good shot of that. You got it? Falls Casino? What's your name? Tyler? Kyler? Kyler, what's your last name? Kraulich. Kyler Kraulich. He wants to donate it all back to RVJ and his family. That's incredible. That's incredible. Thank you. And I think he said Falls Casino. Is that correct? Falls Casino. That is incredible. So we have raised 2,000. What's the amount? $2,565 for RVJ and his young kid. I think he's only 10 or 12 years old, struggling with brain cancer. Thank you, guys. I know that means the world to them. I really do. Thank you. We're going to send it to RVJ right away, and we'll make some posts on Facebook about it. Look up Montana Armbender or Joshua Wilson. We're going to let you know how that goes. Thank you, Great Falls. Amazing. Hey, what's crazy is we have had some of the most incredible matches I've ever seen, and we're about to go up the ladder to the main card. That wasn't even the main card. We're about to start the pay-per-view, the full bowl main card. Here we go. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with some incredible action. Thank you, guys. Hey, best crowd right here, Great Falls, Montana. I'm telling you right now, I know the arm wrestling world. These arm wrestlers know it. People talk about our crowd in other states, other countries. Our crowd is the best right here. Thank you, guys.
Ian in the back. Dan going sideways. Wow. Bringing Ian over, getting him out of his lock. Now, what needs to happen here is Ian needs to bring his elbow forward.
Broke down and need a tow? Call Benski Towing and Recovery to come and grab you in your vehicle. Located in